boyfriend, 26M, said I, 23F, would have to fake convert to marry him, but I think that's wrong. Should I reconsider the relationship? My boyfriend and I met online around 11 months ago. Within the first few weeks of us dating, he said he was head over heels for me and asked me to have a serious, exclusive relationship with him, potentially building towards marriage. Obviously I thought he was very attractive and fell hard for him, so I said I would give it a shot. We have been through a lot together because of this pandemic and developed such a close bond. We also have a lot of similar interests, which is great. However, things have been a little rocky in other aspects of the relationship. There has been constant misunderstandings and miscommunications, which is leading me to be confused as hell. Every time I try to address everything, it either doesn't get anywhere, or he avoids the discussion. The main issues have been regarding the religious difference. He is Muslim, non-practicing apparently. I was raised Catholic, but I'm truly agnostic. I'll admit when he first told me he's Muslim, I became very wary about our compatibility. I addressed these worries multiple times and he has always acted like it's not a big deal because his family isn't even that religious in his eyes. So at around 5 months I asked him if I could meet his family because it felt like the right time. But he told me to wait because he's not allowed to date without marriage. I thought they weren't strict. I got kind of fed up with sneaking around and being kept a secret from his family, and it started affecting my mental health. I brought it up to him again recently and he finally caved in and invited me. However, now I have cold feet and don't want to meet them because I'm confused. We haven't had any serious conversations about the future yet and he is constantly contradicting himself. Yesterday, I decided to take communication initiative again and I asked him if the person he marries would have to convert. He said no, but if his family gives him sh // they would have to at least fake convert. I told him I am extremely uncomfortable with potentially having to pretend to convert because it would feel like I'm living a lie. I blatantly told him I would never do that. This has been giving me so much anxiety because I don't want to be in a dead-end relationship and have us waste each other's time but have strong feeling for him. He keeps telling me I shouldn't even be worried about this and it's too soon to discuss marriage. Am I being overdramatic for wanting answers now so I don't waste time? Too long didn't read. My boyfriend said if we decide to get married in the future I would probably have to at least pretend to convert so his family doesn't give him sh /. I feel like this is wrong. This is what we in the biz like to call a deal breaker. This is going to be a fairly bizarre analogy, but there's a video game review series on YouTube called Zero Punctuation that I really like. I couldn't tell you what episode, but in one of them he essentially says, I have no problem playing something for 5 hours and calling it a bad game, but just because a game starts out good doesn't mean it'll stay good. That is to say that it's probably too early to decide, yes, let's get married. But not at all too early to decide, yikes, I'm gonna nope out of this. And I would never ever convert to a different religion for someone, I'm agnostic too. The idea of fake converting is pretty gross to me. Even if I don't personally believe in that religion doesn't mean that it shouldn't be treated with some respect. Bottom line, he isn't being honest. Where do you go from there? Within the first few weeks of us dating, he said he was head over heels for me and asked me to have a serious, exclusive relationship with him, potentially building towards marriage. Well, that's not at all alarming. We have been through a lot together because of this pandemic and developed such a close bond. You mean, it feels like this pandemic forced you two into being a team? There has been constant misunderstandings and miscommunications, which is leading me to be confused as hell. That seems odd, that two people with such a close bond would have such consistent and ongoing difficulties communicating clearly and effectively. I wonder if that's the best description for how things have been going. Tell me, is there any pattern to these misunderstanding or miscommunications? Do similar outcomes keep happening? Or maybe you find yourself feeling or behaving in the same way, over and over. He said no, but if his family gives him sh, they would have to at least fake convert. So, if his fiancé wants one thing, and his family wants something else, he's telling you he will side with his family over his future wife. That's something to think about, isn't it? I don't want to be in a dead-end relationship. Well, there's no time like the present to leave. It's not going to get easier or better if you wait. He keeps telling me I shouldn't even be worried about this and it's too soon to discuss marriage. Dating a few weeks, I am head over heels for you. We should get together, possibly to marry. Dating 11 months, it's still too early to meet my family, and why are you even bringing up marriage? Kinda sounds like he lied to you to get into your pants, and now that he thinks he has you locked down, the actual truth of what he expects from you is coming out. I, 26F, have a crisis when my BF, 29M, goes out with his friends. My boyfriend and I have been together for 4 years now, and I recently moved countries to be with him. We now live together, and due to COVID I have no friends and I am unemployed. I've been hating to be at home. I've been depressed for not having friends and am bored 100% of the time. But there's one thing that breaks me every time is when my boyfriend leaves me at home to go hang out with his friends. It is not because I'm a jealous person, it's because I feel sad for myself for not having friends. In my country I was a very outgoing person, but in here I don't know people. I know this is very toxic of me to do, but it's because I don't know people in this country, only him basically. Although I recognize it as toxic behavior, at the same time I can't stop crying my eyes out when he leaves. Makes me want to break up with him and move back to my country. I need help and advices. Too long didn't read. I, 26F, have a crisis when my BF, 29M, goes to hang out with his friends and I stay home because I have no friends. If I were you, I would just be honest about the stuff I was feeling and communicate. I think you should talk to your BF about how you are feeling lonely in an abroad country and that he should do something. If he is experiencing some difficult times, from what I have read from your previous comments, I suppose you find and make friends around your area from online apps and such. Why don't you find an organization that needs volunteers? 1. It will get you out of the house. 2. It may lead to new friendships. 3. It will help ease the boredom. Why are you stuck at home because of the pandemic but he isn't? The thing is, I'm having a hard time making friends because nobody wants to leave during the pandemic. He already had long-term friends. Frown. Why can't you go with him? No, all his friends don't speak English when they get together. Crying face, they speak their language. Someone in my 27F family keeps updating my husband, 28M, who I'm separated from, about me, but no one will admit it's them. I got married way too young. A lot of my 20s has been spent doing things to help my husband achieve his goals and dreams. I came to the realization I didn't really know myself or what I wanted as an independent person. I've just been going along with what he wants. After we talked about it, we agreed to a temporary separation with no contact so I could figure things out for myself. Both of our families thought this was a bad idea, but they claimed they would respect our decision. About 3 months ago, I randomly started receiving gifts which were always things I mentioned I needed/wanted to my family members in passing. I even tested it by mentioning random things, but it was when I mentioned I needed this expensive necklace and it showed up a week later that I knew it definitely wasn't my family sending me them. I ended up logging into my husband's Amazon account and sure enough, he was sending me the gifts, which is nice of him, but also, I feel like no one is respecting my decision and they're all dictating my life again. This also has me really worried about what other things they've been telling him. I have confronted them about it, but they're all denying it was them and I cannot prove who it was. I personally have a strong suspicion they're all in on it, but I don't know how to prove it. My husband has done a lot for my family, so I understand they have a sense of loyalty towards him, but it really feels like they're choosing him over me. What do I do now? I don't want to confront my husband over it because I feel like that's their end goal, and was also my mum's first suggestion when I confronted them. Also, money and gifts are one of the few things we fought over before separating, and I really don't want to have the same argument again. Too long didn't read. My husband and I are taking a break and are supposed to be North Carolina. My family, however, have been updating him about me but denied it when I confronted them. Alternate theory, you have your husband's Amazon password. Maybe he has yours, too, and is checking your search history to see what you might want. Some of the things aren't from / sold on Amazon, so I don't think it's that. No matter who is doing it, your husband is breaking the North Carolina agreement. If he respected your space, he wouldn't be sending you anything and your family would stop telling him things. Stop talking to your family members about stuff. Everyone is on an information lockdown until this is all over. Evil life hack: tell different family members different things and see what the results are. I do not actually recommend this course. An info diet where you don't tell anybody anything is healthier. Maybe go no contact with your family for a while. Sounds like they are not supporting you by interfering with the arrangement between you and your spouse.